In the shadowy depths of occupied France in 1942, a story of quiet courage and immense sacrifice unfolds. This is Jean-Pierre Melville's masterpiece, Army of Shadows, a film that doesn't just show the French resistance. It makes you live it, breathe it, and feel its crushing weight. Our guide into this perilous world is Philippe Gerbier, a civil engineer and a high-ranking member of a resistance network. The film opens not with a bang, but with a chillingly methodical scene, Gerbier's transfer to a prison camp. He's a man of few words, his face a mask of stoic resolve. But behind his eyes, you see the gears turning, constantly calculating, searching for an escape. His first breakout is a masterclass in tension. It's not a daring, action-packed sequence, but a nerve-wracking gamble that relies on precise timing and a single, desperate act. This sets the tone for the entire film. Survival here isn't about heroism. It's about cold, hard, often brutal logic. Once free, Gerbier rejoins his comrades in Marseilles. We're introduced to the core of his network, a small group of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. There's Felix, the loyal and capable second-in-command. Le Masque and Le Bison, two tough-as-nails operatives who carry out the network's most difficult tasks. And then there's Matilda, a seemingly ordinary housewife who is perhaps the most brilliant and resourceful of them all. She's the logistical genius, the cool head under pressure, the one who can conjure solutions out of thin air. The film isn't a collection of grand battles or sabotage missions. Instead, it focuses on the grim day-to-day reality of being a resistor. It's about clandestine meetings in foggy streets, hushed conversations in back rooms, and the constant, gnawing fear of betrayal. We see the meticulous planning that goes into smuggling the radio transmitter or executing a traitor. One of the most harrowing scenes in the film deals with this very issue: betrayal. A young agent who betrayed the network is captured. The group must execute him, but a gunshot would alert the neighbors. What follows is a long, agonizing debate on how to do it silently. The scene is almost unbearable to watch, not because of graphic violence, but because it forces us to witness these good people grappling with a morally horrifying necessity. They are not monsters, but the war has forced them to commit monstrous acts to survive and to protect their cause. This is the central tragedy of Army of Shadows. The fight for freedom demands a piece of their own humanity. Gerbier's journey takes him to London, in a sequence that feels like a breath of fresh air after the oppressive gloom of France. He's flown out in a rickety plane from a makeshift airfield, a scene filled with understated tension. In London, he meets with the head of the Free French Forces, a figure clearly meant to be Charles de Gaulle, although he's never named. He's shown a film of his own decorated past, a ghost from a life that seems a million miles away. This moment reinforces the sacrifice these individuals have made, trading their normal lives for a clandestine existence where their own names are forgotten. But the respite is brief. Upon his return to France, the news tightens. Gerbier himself is captured by the Gestapo. He's imprisoned in their infamous headquarters, a place of torture and despair. Here, Melville shows us the psychological torment of captivity. Gerbier knows what awaits him. He prepares for the end. But in a stunning, almost surreal sequence, he's rescued by Matilda. Her plan is audacious, brilliant, and executed with split-second precision. It's a testament to her incredible courage and the deep loyalty that binds this group together. However, every victory in this war comes at a terrible price. The network is constantly bleeding members. Felix is captured and brutally tortured. The group's attempt to mercy kill him in a German hospital fails, a soul-crushing defeat that weighs heavily on Gerbier. The danger is omnipresent, and trust is a currency more valuable than gold, and just as easily lost. The film's climax is not a triumphant battle, but a heart-wrenching decision. Matilda, the network's savior, is arrested. The Germans know her weakness, her teenage daughter. They give her an ultimatum: betray her comrades, or her daughter will be sent to a concentration camp. The group learns of her impossible choice. They know Matilda. They know she is strong, but they also know the love of a mother. They cannot risk her breaking. The unbearable conclusion they reach is that they must eliminate her themselves before she has the chance to talk. The final scene is one of the most haunting in all of cinema. Gerbier, Le Masque, Le Bison, and their new young commander, Luc Jardy, track Matilda down on a Parisian street. She sees them, she understands. There's a silent, tragic acknowledgement that passes between them. A car pulls up, a shot is fired, and it's over. There is no triumph, no relief, just profound, soul-crushing sorrow. As the men walk away, text appears on the screen, telling us the eventual fate of each of the surviving members. One by one we learn they were captured, killed, or committed suicide. Gerbier's own fate is sealed. The final shot freezes on his face as he puts on his hat and walks into the crowd, a man already a ghost, marching toward his own inevitable end. Army of Shadows is a film about the mechanics of resistance, but it's more profoundly about the human cost. It strips away the romance of war and shows it for what it is, a grim, dirty, and soul-destroying business. There are no heroes in the traditional sense, only people making impossible choices in an impossible time. Melville, himself a former member of the resistance, directs with a stark documentary-like realism. The color palette is muted, filled with grays, blues, and blacks, mirroring the moral and emotional landscape of the characters. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll. It's a powerful, somber tribute to the silent, unseen soldiers who fought in the shadows, whose greatest victory was to endure, and whose ultimate sacrifice was often their own soul. It's not just a war film. It's a profound meditation on loyalty, betrayal, and the crushing weight of living a life where every sunrise might be your last. It asks a difficult question. What would you be willing to sacrifice for what you believe in? For the members of this army of shadows, the answer was everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this summary and analysis of Army of Shadows insightful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into classic cinema. Let me know your thoughts on the film in the comments below. See you in the next video.